Hello, people. This is Newman Fan Forever 39. I literally just got home from work like uh, about 20 minutes ago, and I just found out some interesting news. Well, I knew about this for a while, but NASCAR has unveiled their 2020 schedule for the Cup Series, and I heard a few rumors that were sounding kind of iffy, but now they're official. I'm gonna go over the schedule and I'm gonna give you guys, my thoughts on all the changes. Well, first things first, let's take a look at the schedule. Come on, here we go. So first off, still have the Clash. Ugh. After last year, even though Jimmy Johnson won, that was embarrassing. Same with the duels. And then, but let's get into the real things, the points races. Obviously, I have the Daytona 500. It's on February 16th, President's Day weekend. Now, this is the next interesting thing, and I am kind of shocked, but at the same time impressed. We are immediately going to the West Coast swing right after Daytona, which I kind of was hoping for, but I was not expecting this. Las Vegas is now the second race of the season, so I won't have that spare week to rest up and prepare for Vegas. But I'm I'm definitely gonna try to go to that. Third race of the season is at Auto Club Speedway. Unfortunately, with those two together, now it's gonna be harder for me to try to go to both races because still Vegas has two races, Auto Club has one, and I will get to that later. Then after that, they go to ISM Raceway in Phoenix. Then after that, they go to Atlanta Motor Speedway, which I'm glad they moved because the Atlanta's the second race of the season was blah. And I'm pretty sure the drivers felt the same way. Now here's another big shock. After that, they go to Homestead Miami Speedway. That's right, folks. Homestead is no longer the season finale. I'm kind of disappointed about that because it's back to what they were doing before, breaking things that didn't need to be fixed. I know a lot of NASCAR fans, well, at least the southern ones mostly, do not like 1.5 mile tracks, whether they're cookie cutters or not. But Homestead has been one of those 1.5 mile tracks that's actually good. I mean, you have multiple groove racing. What else can you ask for? It's a perfect place to end the season at. But that's just me. My opinion don't matter to NASCAR. Eh. Anyways, back to focusing. So after that, they go to Texas at the end of March, and then Bristol at the beginning of April. Let me try to scroll down, please. Then they have an off weekend. I'm guessing that's Easter weekend. And we go to Richmond and then Talladega at the end of the month. The Dover's a little earlier in the month of May, and Martinsville has been pushed to May also, Mother's Day weekend. But interesting thing, look here, Saturday, May 9th. I already looked at the promo video. We're finally getting an official night race at Martinsville, and I was hoping it would be the spring one. When they came up with the idea of Martinsville having a night race, I always wanted it to be the spring one rather than the fall one. So I'm kind of happy about that. Then of course we go to All Star Race weekend at Charlotte. I don't really like the All Star Race anymore. I think they need to come up with a different idea or just start rotating it to different tracks. You worn out your welcome. And then we have Coke 600 weekend, May 24th. And then Kansas at the very end of the month. Then they go to Michigan at the beginning of June. Sonoma's pushed back a week, but it's still in June, so no grass for you Sonoma, which is a bummer. Sonoma does look nice with the grass. Then they go to Chicagoland. Now here's another interesting point. Pocono is having a doubleheader. I swear they got this idea from IndyCar. And and a track that not a lot of people like. I mean, I know the attendance is good at Pocono, but it's very boring to watch. But anyways, I have mixed feelings on that one. A little leaning more negative because, like I said, I don't really like Pocono. I don't think it deserves two races, but we'll see how this goes. If they decide to keep the double header idea for 2021, like move it to another type of track. Now, this part's gonna piss me off, and probably a lot of you. Wait, I hope you all saw that. My computer, for whatever reason, just shot all the way back up top towards the beginning of the season. But yeah, man, it's art's getting dry also. But I'm really angry about this. Indianapolis is now on July the 4th weekend, meaning that they swapped it with Daytona. I've heard rumors that they were going to do that, but they did it. What the hell, NASCAR? I'm just gonna get this little rant out there real quick. Not only is Indianapolis been a terrible track over the last few years for stock cars, but you swap not only and also you've broken tradition, but you have put Indianapolis in a Hades-like weekend because that's the reason they stopped racing in July. It was so darn hot. Drivers were complaining about, getting overheated and nearly passing out. And not to mention, once we get to later in the schedule, Daytona is at the pink of hurricane season. Alright, but then after that, they go to another horrible track. Two, in fact. Kentucky and New Hampshire. And then there's another off weekend at the end of July. It's where Indianapolis used to be, but still. And another off weekend around August 2nd. Hey, look, on the plus side, I get my birthday off. Then they go to Michigan again. Watkins Glen. Dover has been kicked out of the playoffs all the way to August 23rd. I don't know what that was all about. Oh, and here's where I was complaining about right here. Daytona is now the regular season finale on Saturday, August 29th. Now, to go along with my rant about how Indianapolis should not have swapped with Daytona because you're breaking tradition and it's hot in Indianapolis, and the track itself is horrible. Everyone knows Daytona is on like the northeast east part of Florida, the Florida coast, about 3 or 4 hours north of Orlando. But still, you're at the peak of hurricane season, pretty much. So not only are you getting a guaranteed possible washout, you could be putting the drivers, the teams, the fans, and everyone in possible danger if a hurricane happens to come that weekend. I know they're not that stupid Try to race if a hurricane's coming, but still, not. It's not a good move to put Daytona as the regular season finale. Now, with that said, let's get to the playoffs. So, Darlington once again returns to the playoffs. So, Southern 500 weekend kicks it off on September 6th. And then we go to Richmond for the second round of 16. And here's another interesting thing. The Bristol night race will end the round of 16 on Saturday, September 19th. Oh boy, that's gonna be one heck of a show. Las Vegas has been pushed back a little bit further on September 27th. I'm hoping that is still going to be a night race. And then we go to Talladega. And the Charlotte Roval will end the round of 12. Then we go to Kansas, which it's been even though I'm not fond of Kansas having two races, Kansas has been kind of a good track lately and been very good in the chase also. It's had quite a lot of action and wrecks. Then we go to Texas after that. And then Martinsville is the penultimate race on the schedule. That one's going to be a day race. And there, as crystal clear as you can see, ISM Raceway, or Phoenix, is now your season finale on Sunday, November 8th. No, I kind of threw in a lot of my opinions out there in this video, but I'm going to go over it again and try to organize it a little. Let's go back up here real quick. They wanted to talk about the West Coast swing. I'm glad that they have moved it to right after Daytona. But I kind of wish that they also threw in Sonoma and probably pushed Texas back a little bit. I know Texas is not a West Coast track, but it's a little warm there, and it is considered the West. Now, me personally, most of y'all know I've been going to almost every race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway since 2010. But I've never been to an auto club race either, even though I used to grow up in Southern California. This kind of damages my chances of trying to go to both next year. But I'm just going to have to play it by ear and try to save up as much money as I can and still pull that off. And, pushing Atlanta further back, that's kind of a good thing. Because the weather's been really awful and the races have not been that good, because of the weather and how rough the track is there. I'm not okay with removing Homestead from the season finale because, like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and that's what NASCAR has a bad habit of doing lately. And a lot of people like Homestead, despite the fact, like I said, it's a 1.5 mile track. And a lot of people that grew up watching the races in the South don't like 1.5 mile tracks. Oh, but I did have an interesting theory. IndyCar has not released their schedule for 2020. They've hinted at wanting to have a doubleheader weekend also with them in NASCAR. What if we could get them to start the season again at Homestead? I'm spitballing here. Let's go back down the schedule again. I apologize for the shakiness. I'm trying to hold this with my left hand, and I'm a righty. Texas and Bristol, nothing too different. And then the Easter weekend's none too different either. Dover's a little bit further back. I don't think that'll make too much of a difference. I don't really like Dover too much. I don't think it needs to. I could go over what tracks I think don't need don't need two races and probably should lose one race for 2020. But you know what? I might save that for another video. Comment below if you want me to do that. Anyways, Martinsville, being pushed to Mother's Day weekend, doesn't really bother me. However, I am glad we finally get an official night race. That's cool. I'll save my complaint about the All-Star race another time. Like I said earlier, I wish Sonoma could have been a little bit more earlier. Besides the fact it looks nice with the grass, it is still very hot in Northern California. As I stated earlier, I'm interested to see if the doubleheader idea works, but I don't think Pocono was a good idea for it. I think they could have used. Heck, they could have used a short track. I think that would have been the best option, but we'll see how this one goes. But I'm not keen on Pocono. I'm definitely not happy about Indianapolis swapping with Daytona. I really don't need to go over that rant again. Still don't like Kentucky. Still don't like New Hampshire. I do find that interesting also. We get 2 off weeks in a row. I mean, that's going to be good for the drivers and the teams. Maybe some of the fans. Because a lot of them bitch about everyone. All besides bitching about everything. They complain about the schedule being too long and drivers not getting enough time to rest and stuff. But, no, I'm probably going to end up missing NASCAR that weekend and wanting it to be back unless there's an Xfinity truck race that weekend. Oh, I should note, Trucks and Xfinity have not released their schedules yet. I expect it to be a little similar, but with their sanctioned tracks already. Oh, and on a personal note, I'm kind of glad August 2nd is off because now I get to do something for my birthday that weekend. Last year, I missed Chase Elliott getting his first win at Watkins Glen due to me. Well, I was traveling to California to go to Disneyland for my birthday. I had a blast, but I wish I could have seen that. We'll watch the whole race live through. And yeah, Michigan and Watkins Glen pushed back a little. I still don't know why they kicked Dover out of the chase and put it all the way to August. I don't really know what's up with that. And then I don't want to go over this again, but you already know I'm really angry that they moved Daytona all the way down to the regular season finale. Bad move in my opinion. But this could only last for a year. We'll have to see how things go. And I'm a little iffy also on Darlington, just being the opener of the playoffs, because that's the throwback weekend. Then also, the chase contingencies could ruin the throwback cards, make them look hideous. However, I should mention, I am excited that the Bristol night race is now in the playoffs. I think a lot of people have been wanting to see this, and so have I. So that's going to be fun. And Las Vegas, of course, gets its second race. I'm hoping that will still be a night race. Talladega and Charlotte Roval and all of these, nothing too different. But I need to talk about the last 2 races, Martinsville and Phoenix. Let's start with Martinsville. This can be a day race, but I I don't know how weather is going to play into effect, but I kind of like that Martinsville is going to be the second to last race. I think now that one I do think is a good idea. Phoenix as a season finale. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really too sure about it. Hold on. Sorry about that. Anyways, I mean, I already kind of said earlier, I liked Homestead as the finale. Even if it's a 1.5 mile track, you have multiple groove racing. You can run anywhere, the bottom, the middle, the top. It in my opinion, I thought it was very. I thought Homestead, ever since they reconfigured in 2003, has been a very good place for the season finale to be at. But of course, Phoenix has the new fancy upgrades. The track has been, kind of reconfigured. The start finish lines now where the old turns 2 and 3 used to be. I'm still not too fond of that layout, but this does give me an excuse to go to a season finale race. I haven't been to one since IndyCar in 2014. I don't know. I think I kind of need to see it before I want to try to burn this with a flaming axe. But I I'm just gonna leave it at that. I have mixed feelings about Phoenix being the finale. But that's pretty much it. So comment below what do you guys think. Do you hate it? Do you like it or do you hate it? I'm just gonna leave it at this. Because there are some things I like about the schedule for next season, some things I don't like. I'm going to leave it at 50-50. I have mixed feelings about it. 20 is the last season that all of these tracks that I've shown you are under contract with the way they currently are with NASCAR, meaning they'll have to renew their contracts for 2021, but also that opens up an opportunity for new tracks to come in and possibly take away races from some that have 2 races or even 1. And for example, I'm gonna look at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I know a lot of people don't really like Las Vegas, even though that's my home track. But they could lose one of their dates for something like, say, maybe Iowa or Gateway or Circuit of the Americans, something like that. Just have to see how it all plays out. But don't get too negative just yet. I mean, this could be a good thing also. I'm just gonna end it here and say we'll have to wait and see. But thank you guys for watching. If you took the time to watch, I know this was a little bit of a long video. I can my opinion as well. But like I said, let me know in the comments a couple of things. 1, what do you think of the schedule? Do you like it or do you hate it? And 2, would you guys like to see me come up with a 2021 concept schedule? And I would like to give that a try. I just want to know if that'd be something you guys would like to see. So just let me know those down below, and I'll see you all later.